What is up, everybody? It is me, DevilNeverCry, and of course today we have some more DMC5 information to discuss. So for those of you who don't know, a CapcomTV stream took place today, which we got another look at DMC5 among some other Capcom titles. Of course the stream was in Japanese, so it took quite a while for things to be fully translated, and on that note I'd like to give a quick shout out to the DMC5 Info Twitter account for yet again providing us with another speedy translation. With that said though, I would like to dive right into the new information. And first on the list, we get a confirmation that the Knightmare summon for V, the big hulking Goliath, is indeed going to be tied to a devil trigger like gauge for V. That's why every time we see him during gameplay in the trailers, V's hair is white and his tattoos have dissolved. So that will essentially act as V's devil trigger for a very specific reason, which I'll come to later on in the video. Continuing on with the new information about Knightmare, it has been confirmed that Knightmare does indeed act independently of V during gameplay. However, once you jump up on him, which we've seen obviously in the trailers, he can be fully controlled, which is rather interesting. So he sort of goes off and spins his own style of ass kicking whilst you're doing other things, you know, with Griffin and Shadow. But if you want a more controlled sort of experience with Knightmare, you can go there and jump up on him. No doubt he has access to a full moveset as well, which I thought was quite interesting. Moving on from Knightmare though, we now get on to Griffin, the big blue bird, the flying familiar. It turns out that Griffin here will act as V's double jump essentially, stating that instead of performing an air hike, Griffin will simply allow you to fly and glide around the battlefield, which is rather interesting. This essentially means that V doesn't have a double jump of his own. He can't utilize the air hike technique and instead has to rely directly upon Griffin. Funnily enough though, I do remember another character in the DMC franchise that was unable to use the air hike ability, but I'm sure there's absolutely no connection there. Right guys, moving swiftly on from Griffin, we come to Shadow. It turns out that Shadow will essentially merge with V, allowing him to utilize a emergency dodge, as they put it, which again we saw in the IGN trailer with V doing something similar to a table hopper. Again, interestingly enough, implying that V himself doesn't really have many capabilities, with him instead having to rely upon all of his summons. And last but not least, we come to the fact that V is said to have a lower health pool than Nero and Dante, stating that he can also be staggered during combat. Now I don't know about you guys, but the more and more I hear about V and what he is and isn't capable of, the more it's starting to sound that he really is just a human being, which is why the development team have made V such a different character to play as when compared to the titular protagonists of the series. And that about wraps it up for this video. However, they did say that we can look forward to hearing more about DMC5 in the coming year. To add to that, there is also a new Famitsu article which was recently released, which has yet to be translated, so stay tuned for more on that. If you do want to talk some DMC with some DMC fans, I'll leave a link down to my Discord in the description below. If you want to get at me personally on Twitter, I'll leave a link to that as well. It has been me, DevilNeverCry. I would like to thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you next video.